development. Here development is the sum of growth and differentiation. So growth is generally it is increasing the mass or weight, size, length, number of cells, and here the development generally in plant body it is taking place from the seed. Here when the seed germinated, it is starting with the seed germination. So all the changes present between the seed germination and senescence, from the seed germination to senescence means old age. So all these changes together called as here development. So the development includes all the changes present between the seed germination and senescence. So here after the seed germination it develops into small seedling. So the seed develops into a small young plant or seedling. Here the seedling generally it is developing and it is the young plant juvenile stage or juvenile phase, means it is the starting stage. It is a young plant body. Next here maturation. Here after certain vegetative growth it becomes mature. Here means reproductive growth also. So the maturation phase. Next here the maturation phase after attaining certain maturity, here it is undergoing the flowering or the flowering is initiated. So the flower formation. So the flower formation, next pollination, fertilization, and after fertilization the fruits are formed. Next seeds are also formed. So after the seed formation, here that is the plant is liberating the seeds and undergoing the senescence. So from the seed germination to senescence, seed germinating and seedling. Next juvenile phase, here maturation. So after attaining certain maturity, here the flowering is initiated and pollination, fertilization, seed setting and the seed liberation, seed formation and seed liberation. So after the seed liberation undergoing the aging process or senescence process. So that is leading to the death also. Sometimes here it is leading to the death. Next here if you see the here schematically here the developmental stages, here different developmental stages here within the cell, here or in the tissue or in the cell, meristematic cell, here it is undergoing the division. So after undergoing the division, here some new cells are produced. The new cells are, it is meristematic cell and producing the new cells, small cells. So the here protoplasm, here the protoplasm is shared between the two young cells or daughter cells, and within the cell here the plasma means protoplasm, here plasmatic growth, protoplasm, cytoplasm, it is showing the growth or increasing, protoplasm is increasing. So when the protoplasm is increasing, here the cell is also expanding or enlarging. After the enlargement or expansion, it is also enlargement. Here after a certain here growth, plasmatic growth, here the cell is enlarging, here it is enlarging in the size. Next after enlargement, here the cell or the tissue, here that is differentiating, here differentiating. Here differentiation means here it is the cell or the cell wall, here the sometimes here dead cells like trachary elements. So the trachary elements are also starting they are produced from the or they are modified. Here young cells are having protoplasm, and when the protoplasm is lost, that becomes as a dead cell. So the dead cell, the cell wall is thickened and that is involving in one function. So here after the production of cells and enlarging, after enlargement they are differentiated. The differentiation means here they are involving in certain function. So xylem is involving in the water and minerals conduction. Here phloem is involving in the food metal conduction. So like that here chlorene is involving in the here photosynthesis. So like this here different cells are developed or the newly produced cells are differentiated, involving in separate and particular specific functions, structurally modified and here functionally also. Structural means cell wall and shape For example, if you see the trachea element here like this, it is very young cell is like this, but here after a certain period here it is differentiated into here trachea element or tracheid. It is dead cell. Here protoplasm is present, but here no protoplasm, no nucleus. So no protoplasm, and here the cell walls are thin, but here the cell walls are thick, lignin made. The cell walls are made up of lignin, and it is involving in the water conduction if it is tracheary element. So like chlorenchyma and phloem, so different type of tissues are there. So they are differentiated to perform specific functions. Next, maturation. So after the differentiation, the cell or the tissue or the organ is matured. So here if you think only one cell, here the cell is matured. So the mature cell, here after the maturation, here it is involving in the function and undergoing after a certain period, it is undergoing the death. So produced from the meristematic cell is producing the new cells, showing the growth and expansion, enlargement, differentiation. Next, after a differentiation, it is nothing but leading to the maturation, involving some functions, and that matured cell, it is undergoing the death. So that is the end of the that cycle. Here cell is produced from the meristematic cell, and at last at certain period it is leading to the death also. Sometimes here the meristematic cells, after the production of here the new young cells, for example here it is meristematic cell, it is producing the two cells. These two cells are here meristematic cells only. It is meristematic cell, it is meristematic cell, and involving in the here after cell enlargement, here both are having the meristematic activity. So these are producing the next 4 cells. So like this, a meristematic cell, it is dividing, and new cells are produced. The new cells are showing the plasmatic growth, or protoplasm is increasing, and after the protoplasm increasing, here the cells are again dividing, or again they are acting as meristematic cells, or again they are dividing into 4 cells like this. Here sometimes here the newly produced cells are showing the plasmatic growth, enlargement, differentiation, and involving in the certain function, that is matured cell, that is leading to the death. But here sometimes the meristematic cells, after the production of new cells, here they show the plasmatic growth. Next they are involving in the same cell division. So here like this, in different ways, here the cells are developing or undergoing the division continuously or repeatedly. So it is about development